Hey everybody, this is Devin with Homeschool House Calls, and we are talking about homeschool laws. And I'm sorry it's so shaky. I sat it on my lap because I was being a little lazy, and I didn't realize I was going to shake. Sounds like but we're having a bit of a rainy day, and I just thought I would go over laws again because I had several people ask about Alabama specifically. I am in Alabama, and we will go through that. Let me screen share, and I will go through that. Let's see. It's probably going to be on the wrong state because I was showing somebody Missouri earlier. So let's go back to Alabama. I do consult nationwide now, and I use this all the time. Okay, let me start with I'm not a lawyer. I don't want to be a lawyer. I have never wanted to be a lawyer. It's just when you've homeschooled 20 years, you get to where you kind of know how things work. We're going to go over Alabama law. You can apply this to any state that you're in. I send people back to homeschool legal defense because they are lawyers. They've been around 40 years. They specialize in homeschool law. They watch state legislation, federal legislation. Is that what you call it? Federal legislation. They watch things, and they have a lot of other benefits. You do not have to be a member to go see this part of their website. About the only thing you would do is give them your email address, and that's not a bad thing because you'll get their newsletter and you would know what's going on in your area. So, Alabama. Let me start by saying is Alabama tends to be a little volatile when it comes to our options to homeschool. These that I say, everything I say, I'm not a lawyer. This is my opinion, but I've homeschooled 20 years and I've been around a long time. You can like me, hate me, disagree with me, not disagree with me. I don't really care. I love my mamas. I am for you always, but you cannot get away from the codes. I can't change them because I want to. That's just how it is. And that's all I'm going to say about that volatile, wonderful Alabama homeschool law. So we have three options to homeschool. You can see it on the page. There are three here, and this is why it causes such confusion. I think it's really why it causes so much confusion. One, the tutor, I guess we call it a tutor option. I could pull it up and go deeper and show you, but I don't want to. I don't want to go too far into this one because I do not know a person who uses it. You have to report to the school board. Teachers that homeschool do not use this one. It gives them, they just don't. So we're not going to go over that. So the two that we do have, church school, private school, that's what they're called. They're both loophole laws. At least that's how I understand them, that churches were given the right to establish schools without government oversight. And private schools, about 14 years ago, they added a option so that private schools could have homebound programs. Now, homebound, if you remember that, if you ever met anybody who used that, public school has a program called homebound. I believe that's where the tutor option came from. My sister was in a homebound program. It took quite a long time for them to get that set up, and she was taught at home. It was pretty seamless because the teacher reported to the school board. Churches were given the right to have schools, and then they decided to have home, and that's some church school somewhere decided to push that law and say, let's have a home program. Then private schools 14 years ago were given the right to have home programs, and then because it's not tightly worded, it gave us a loophole that parents can declare themselves private schools. So we have three laws. Two do not have any teachers' qualifications. School required ages. Now, this is the one where people get a little bit bent out of shape too, because there are people who like to say that we don't have to tell anyone or report to anyone. That's not true. The code there says all children between 6 No, well, maybe not all. Okay, I'm paraphrasing off the top of my memory. Children between the age 6 and 17, I would assume that's all children that live in the state of Alabama, have to be registered or enrolled, one of those words, either one, in a private, public, private, or church school. So they have to be enrolled between the age of 6 and 17. You can't get past that. I'm not sure why people think they can get past that. I don't know why people want to argue with it. I'm like, it says they're enrolled. So that is what the law states. It is what it is. Now, 6, that's 6 years old. These fall after they turn 6. So if they turn 6 in August, they are enrolled in school that year. If they turn 6 in October, it's the fall, next year. So easy peasy. Took me years to figure that out. Notification. Yes, we notify. It's very easy. Very, really very easy. You pick one of the two options if, unless you're a teacher and you want to do this third option. I don't even know how to do that. Like I said, I've never met anybody who's done it. So pick an option, file in the paperwork. Super easy. The only time I see problems is when people don't do it. That's it. Or if it gets lost in the mail and you didn't send it certified with signature return, so you have no tracking number and you don't know it went missing, and then easily fixed. Really, it is. I've not, very rarely do I see lots of problems. State mandated subjects. No, there are no subjects. There's no exit required. There's no no subjects, no high school graduation requirements, no exit exam. So assessments required. No tests are required. Not a thing. Immunization requirements. Nope. Except number 2, if you use the private school at home. And again, you can go to Homeschool Legal Defense and you can pull this up and see more in-depth stuff. I'm not going to do that today. Immunization you need for the private school at home. There are several things you've got to have. You've got to have the paperwork every year. Church schools do not do every year. They don't have to. The only time we update that is if you change of address, change of school. And then with the church school, you have, and we could break these down if y'all want to. If you really, really wanted me to, you could send me a note and I could break them down, or I can call you, PM you. I'm like, I really don't want to spend all the time. This is the least fun part of homeschooling, and I don't like talking about it. But somehow I get sucked down the drain every time, and I'm like, mamas, you can do it. This is really not scary. It's really not hard. There's no rocket science. It's one piece of paper. You don't send anything else in. Keep it on file at home in case for some strange reason they want to see it. I have never seen anyone want to see it unless you've done something else and they're being pulled into DHR. Very easy peasy. Maybe one day it'll change, but so far, 20 years it hadn't. I think you're good. I think if you handle just, do this, move forward, do a good job. Having no state mandated subjects does not mean we're not teaching subjects. We are teaching subjects all the time. I don't know why I do this video, because I'm like, guys, I have done this video so many times. I could give you probably five boot camps. Maybe not. Let's not over exaggerate. 1, 2, 3, probably at least 3 or 4 boot camps online telling you the same thing. And I think that's why I've had such trouble doing this one, because nothing's changed. And I know it's so scary, but I don't want you to be scared to homeschool because of laws. Laws are there to protect us and to kind of guide us and give us a little bit of guidance. And if it's overstepped, then we go and we fight the laws and get them changed. If it's understepped, we might leave them alone a little bit. I'm like, we can do it. So 3 options. 1, let's not even talk about it unless you're a teacher and you want to do it. If you're a teacher and you want to do that third option that I have never met anybody who's done it, please let me know and let me walk with you through it, not because I can tell you how to do it, but because I would like to be better educated, because that is just one of the things I would love to see how it works so that I know more. School age required, 6 to 17. All children are enrolled in a public, private, or church school option. Qualifications, notifications required. Yes, yes, that's not changed. That's been around forever. Teacher qualifications, no, except number 3. If you do the teacher option, you got to have a up-to-date certification. Maybe I should get certification and just do it myself. State mandated subjects, nope, no subjects, no testing. Immunizations, only if you do the private school at home and you don't send any of that extra stuff. Okay, the extra stuff, I meant to start that a few minutes ago. You fill out the form. We have it posted in our groups. If you're any of my local groups, we have those in there. Just ask me, I'll tag you. We have the form you send in every year. Then there's immunizations, either the blue card, your shot record, or either the exempt form. Keep it on file. You don't mail it anywhere. This is mailed, and I suggest that you mail it on time and mail it with a certified with signature return. Then you have the shot record. Then you have a PE record. That is just, you're supposed to do like 1 hour a day. That can be outside play. It can be play date. It can be gymnastics. It can be karate. It can be soccer. 1 hour a day. And then attendance. We do also, if you do church school, you're supposed to do attendance. So those, and you don't mail them off anywhere. Keep them on file at home, or better yet, scan them into a portable hard drive, and then you won't have. I have 5 kids, 20 years. You do the math of how much paperwork and books and extras you can end up having. So I am a big, big fan of passports and portable hard drives. Ours was called Passport. That was the brand. Okay, so now at this point, let me know what questions you have. That I have gone through Alabama's laws. I didn't want to. I tried not to focus on any certain state because it's not fun. I try to give y'all where to find things. So you can, if you need more, I have like 3 or 4 on this subject. Let me know. I'll post them down in the link and you can rewatch. And they're better organized and easier to understand. And next time we'll go over something more fun, like how to find curriculum. I know, I'm sorry. I'm being a little bit grumpy. Laws make me grumpy. They're not fun. They're necessary, but they're not fun. They're not the fun part of homeschooling. There's so much fun with homeschooling. I have loved, I'm not really at the end of my journey homeschooling. My youngest is 8. So I've got many, many years to go. But at the same time, my 4 oldest are all getting ready. They're in high school or in college. And so in some ways it feels, sometimes if I'm not careful, it feels like it's ending. And I want to focus on the fun. There's so much fun. Kindergarten is so fun. Don't let your world get sucked down into the laws and being worried over this. Find some good mentors that will help you make decisions about that. Talk to Homeschool Legal Defense. They're awesome, awesome people. And then once you make a decision, go with it and enjoy all the fun. Because let me tell you, I love every stage. Preschool is awesome. There's not a bad stage. I love middle school. I love high school. I can't wait. Lacey's becoming kind of a tween now, and I cannot wait for middle school because each stage has its challenges, but it has its exciting part too. And I'm like, don't miss it because you're getting dragged down into worrying over your laws in your state. Don't invent the wheel. go, I'm like, do it right. Always do it right. You have less trouble in the long run, but don't stop there. I really, maybe this should not be the first thing I ever do in a boot camp. We usually start there because I'm trying to like get through and finished. And I hope you watched all the way to the end because I really feel like the end here is better than the beginning. And I want you to enjoy every little moment of your time with your children and not get bogged into here. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate you. I'm glad you came. I'm glad you hung out. Let me know what you need to know. Tomorrow, we'll do a little bit of talking about where to find curriculum, although even sometimes that's not fun. I want to have fun. Let's talk about field trips and extracurriculars and huddles and extra time and not waking up at the crack of dawn. Those are the fun parts of homeschooling. I appreciate you. I will see you soon. I hope you enjoy the boot camp and I'm not like turning you off. I don't want to be I don't want to be the bad guy. Bye, guys.